Good morning, everyone. As I'm recording this is Friday, so I'm back with my son at the Center for Donations. So he's feeling better now that he's on his medication. We're hoping that progress continues to improve, so thank you for your prayers. Somebody asked me one time why I don't pray before I do these messages. I do, but I do the prayer before I start recording because I need help even carrying the camera across the room, let alone talking. And I pray constantly. I'm always talking to God. Prayer doesn't mean you have to go put sackcloth on and get down on your knees and grovel in the dirt and pray. God just wants to hear from you. So talk to Him on a regular basis. Now, formal prayers, we can do that. When you mention in the comments that you need prayer for something, I will pray for you. I usually put it in the comment, and I add you to the list that I pray with all the time. So, what was that? Somebody dumped something out. I'm in the city, so you never know what kind of noises you're going to get. Well, I paid rent yesterday. I realized I'm running short. I was supposed to work this last month and we didn't work. So I took my car in and got it worked on and did some other things. So if you find it in your heart to help out a little bit, now would be a good time. Okay, I hate asking for money, so that's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. This is an interesting month coming up. There's a lot of things that can happen this month. I'm going to start with the easiest. We might get a Starship launch. Starship launch number 5. Now, what's the significance of that? Now, it's moving our technology forward to get everything in the... We have to have technology to be able to bring us what's coming. We couldn't do a digital dollar or a mark of the beast unless you have good technology. So that's going to be there. So as we improve in all things, and SpaceX seems to be improving things. SpaceX is the one that's supplying my satellite that I'm using to upload with when I'm back at my home base. I'm in town today, so I won't use it to upload. But when I'm back at the base, I have to have it to upload. Otherwise, I'm spending gas money driving into town trying to find cell signal strong enough to upload. So this has been a blessing from the beginning, and that's SpaceX. That's, again, technology. And they're trying to get this technology to the world. When the 2 witnesses are killed and they're left in the street, it says the whole world sees it. Again, we need this technology. Okay, so that's a possibility of a launch later this month or early in the next. They're almost ready. They could be ready in a week, but they got to get the signed paperwork from the FAA that says it's okay to launch. So that's the big one that they're waiting on. They haven't done a final dress rehearsal, but they don't have a date yet. Okay, moving on. War in the Middle East is more and more likely. Israel has managed to do some good attacks, if you will, from their point of view. They bombed the Yemen harbor. The Houthis didn't completely shut up, but they've backed way back because they know that Israel will come after them. And you can't stop Israel. They have our technology and their own technology, so they probably have the best equipped military. They've always got God there, but the world doesn't look at God as the main factor. The world doesn't. Now the Middle East will, because they've got their own Allah, and they're related. So it's picking up. They've assassinated 3 terrorist leaders. They finally admitted that they found the body of one, and we have the one they took out in Beirut, and the most embarrassing for Iran is the one they killed in Tehran, Iran. Now they're saying now that it wasn't a flyover type bomb. It wasn't a missile launched from someplace. They're saying that they got in there and planted a bomb a couple of months ago. And when they knew he was there, they've got intelligence, and that's the thing that Iran is dealing with. This is a very closed society, and yet Israel knows what's going on. But when he got in the room, they blew it up and they killed him. Iran's immediate response was, we're calling for an all-out attack. And Iran's going to get involved. Iran prefers the proxies to do all the fighting because it doesn't hurt Iran that way. You can get somebody else to do your fighting for you. It makes it easier on you. But they've been embarrassed greatly, so they're going to have to do something about it. The U.S. has moved warships in the area. They're going to help out. There were other people that helped out the last time, but that was only 320 missiles. Let's see if everybody jumps in. Will the UK help this time? Don't know. Saudi Arabia has closed their airspace to flyovers of anything. They don't want anybody shooting anything over their country. This is not the Ezekiel war, because you got to have Russia leading it, and they're not leading this at all. They're still preoccupied in Ukraine. Until that's resolved, Russia won't have a chance to come in there. So the Ezekiel 38 war is still off in the distance. But what it may prove, and it may prophetically prove this, if Iran gets involved in this and they bring their proxies in, and Israel, with God's help, destroys the proxies, Iran will be greatly weakened. They won't be able to do this on their own again, which opens up the position for Russia to step in. When you see the 38 war list of the countries, Persia, Iran is in the list, but they're not the top. Russia is. That's why it's called the Gog-Magog war. Gog is the leader, Magog is the country, which is where Russia is today. All the names you have to basically translate, find out where they were located when they were talking about them, and see who's currently there. Of course, you know, we're talking Turkey. We've got Libya and Syria in there, Sudan. Now they're currently involved potentially in this next attack, but they've got to have Russia leading them. And as long as they're dealing with Ukraine, they're not. So they said a couple of days ago, 72 hours we're going to attack. Well, 3/4 of that's over with. So I think this evening and tomorrow might be an interesting time. If they're going to attack Israel, attack on the Sabbath. Now, Israel in the past, knowing they were going to get attacked, has preemptively attacked the enemy. So Israel could start the attack. This is going to be an interesting month. And I told you about the 9th of Av coming up in the middle of the month, 12th or 13th. So that's not that far away. If this turns out to be a 6-day war, we can easily get to that. It'll be another week, but still. We don't know what the timing is going to be. They may choose not to attack at the 72-hour mark, because that would be expected. I wouldn't want to be traveling in the Middle East right now. And what could happen here too? If we're going to be involved, Iran said that if we help, they're going to attack all of our military bases in the region. But they may also, because I guarantee they've got operatives here in the United States, they may do something here. I'm expecting a 9/11 type attack here in the United States, if for no other reason than to delay the election. They couldn't get Biden in there for sure. He's not running. But the replacement, some pictures came out of her working in a nightclub. She's a bimbo. That's how she got to where she's at. She has no real experience. That's the face of the United States. That's not any good. I'm sorry for the term, I don't mean that to anybody else but this individual. Sleeping her way up to the top, that's how she got there. Now, Hillary probably did the same thing to a degree, and certainly Bill did, but that seems to be the way you do things if you're a Democrat. Okay, and we have, so the Middle East is about ready to explode big time, so be watching that. The Olympics, another joke. We saw where our swimmer was defeated a while back, and then they give the title back to her and took it away from the trans person. They need to do the same thing. There was a fight yesterday with a trans man, testosterone man, in a boxing match with a female opponent. At 46 seconds, she dropped to her knees, started crying, and surrendered. She says, I don't plan on getting killed here because of this. That boxer, and then he holds his hands up in victory. He should be ashamed. He, she, whatever you want to call him. It's a sin, and it's a blatant, in-your-face God sin. The Olympics, they're losing major sponsors. Major sponsors. They probably won't have, unless they can get money from the billionaires that are causing all this, they won't have enough money to do another Olympic. We may be in a world war, at which point it doesn't matter because no one's going to do that anyway. But it's another embarrassment. The world is falling quickly. And the beast is doing it with the harlot. They're working together right now, but that's about to end. And that's the good news for Christians, is that when it ends and the beast takes over, we're out of here. So that could be, it is possible this stuff could calm down and happen in the future. I'm not a betting person. I don't gamble because I'd be gambling with God's money, and I don't do that. And I also I lived in Reno when I went to high school. So there's no gambling involved. These people just try to make it easy to take your money. So I learned not to gamble. But if I were a gambling person, I'd bet on the rapture this year. Now, I don't have any insight that anybody else doesn't have. I don't have a date. There's no scripture that says it's this year. But we're looking at the sign of the times. We're looking at the falling away of the world, the falling away of the churches. We're so close, we can taste it, as the expression goes. So make sure you're ready. And if you've got someone you keep thinking, I need to talk to this person and tell them about Jesus, don't put it off. There's no time for that. Get out there and talk to them. Now, you may not have any luck winning them over and saving them at this moment in time. But that's not your job. Your job is simply to present the facts, the truth, and let them think about it. And let the Spirit work with them. We don't save anybody anyway. The Spirit does all the work. So just at least present the Word to them. I do this all the time. I've got people I talk to about what I'm doing and what I'm teaching, and they don't watch my channel. They don't give me any feedback, but it's going in. And when we disappear, they're going to go, oh, maybe he was right. I guess I should try to find God. Where are you? I need to talk to you. We didn't know anything before we became Christians either. So don't raise them up to what we know until they've had a chance to learn it. All right. We need to really pray that God's will be done on earth. I don't know what to ask for anymore. I can't ask for things, personal things. I mean, if we're about ready to leave, why would a new car do me any good? Keep the current car running. If we're about to leave, I don't need to be making a lot of money, but I need enough to live on. things come up, car repairs, things like that. So I'm not asking for big things, for future things. I'm just asking for sustainment. We have to survive this. And God has plenty to give us to do that. And more than willing. As long as we're working to help Him, He's more than happy to pay the bill. So, get out there, spread the word. All hell's fixing to break loose, literally. And we're fixing to leave. Don't go empty-handed. Have your bag packed. Saying you can't take anything to heaven. Yes, you can. The souls you help lead to Christ become your crowns. You're going to get at least one crown in heaven. Bring someone to Christ, you get another crown. There's more. Are we going to walk around with crowns on? I doubt it, but we might have a display stand someplace. I don't know. God will be happy to say hello to us when He sees us, whether we've done anything or not. But if you want more work, work with what you've got. Parable of the talents, The guy who hid the money got nothing. The guy that invested it and doubled it, he got more. God wants to do that with everybody. Don't miss out. We don't know what heaven's going to have in its entirety. Don't miss out on something because you didn't put time into it now. Pray for me, pray for my son as we're continuing to improve him. He just found out that he can still donate on the medication that he's on, so that's a plus. We were worried they might stop that. And that gives him, this donation gives him $110 a week for a couple of days worth of work. Half a day's. I get a chance to do a video, and I'm going to be able to run to my storage unit here in a little bit, get a couple of things I need. I'm overloaded with stuff in my tent now. I can't really put much more in it, but I need some more clothes because I'm running out of clothes. If I don't do laundry once a week, I'm running out. I got to get some more. I've got rid of all my winter clothes, but I didn't replace it with enough summer clothes, and it's hot. It's been dry the last couple of days, but that means heat. So I run my air conditioning and I stay inside a lot. Enjoy the time, enjoy the world, enjoy your family and friends now. Don't put it off. There's no time to put anything off. Till we meet in the clouds, God bless.